I have a conjecture that you are a curious person. I know my conjecture is right because to be human is to be curious. But as we grow, our curiosity is dulled, isn't it? Children seem to get less curious, particularly about math. This course will show you how to reawaken curiosity in your students. You will learn how to help your students thrive by creating a classroom environment in which to wonder and make conjectures. I'm Anushka Fitzherbert, a math teacher who believes everyone can delight in mathematics. I have studied math teaching at the University of Warwick and Oxford, and I've taught math to diverse groups of children for over 10 years. Together, we will explore how to cultivate curiosity in the classroom. What does curiosity and creativity look like in math class? And how can your students become curious in your classroom? Creating a culture where students make conjectures or ask questions rather than only answering them can help them become better mathematicians as well as experience joy and positivity. Is your curiosity piqued? Let me tell you about the first time I came across the term conjecturing classroom and how it changed the way I thought about learning and doing math. When I was a student teacher, we were shown a video of 10-year-old children in a math lesson. The first thing that struck me was how ordinary the classroom looked. Children sat in rows, there was a bit of chatting and minor disruptions. The teacher at the front was without any spectacular resources, holding an unfussy whiteboard pen. Nowhere were the exciting new ideas I had heard during my course so far. Creative ways of organising children and resources, the magic of group work, the use of manipulative, etc., etc. It looked like a mundane, regular class. Then the teacher began. She said, "Who can remember Lucy's conjecture from yesterday?" Several hands sprang up, children spoke, and the teacher wrote a version of what they were saying on the board in quotations. This is what she wrote: "Every number can be written as the sum of consecutive numbers." And above that, she wrote Lucy's conjecture. I was blown away. The language used by the teacher and these children was nothing like I had imagined in a math classroom. They talked about how to test the conjecture and strategies for how to prove or disprove it. The lesson continued with students coming up with other conjectures. One of them said, "My conjecture is it only works for positive numbers." Another child said, "I think every number can be written as a timesing," she meant multiplication, "of other numbers." Each time a student spoke, the teacher would write out the conjecture in quotations, and above the statement she'd write Ellie's conjecture or Kian's conjecture. The classroom was abuzz, even a bit noisy. There were frequent shouts with children saying things like, "I've disproved it! Doesn't work for 11!" And then another child might say, after a few minutes, "It does actually!" And they would rush to compare their findings. At the end of the class, a few children had noticed that the conjecture seemed to be true for all odd numbers, and were even close to a proof of sorts, which one of them was called to explain on the board. And that was it. The teacher, with the help of her students, did a recap of what they agreed with and what they would work on next lesson. The bell rang, and the lesson ended. What was it about this lesson that had so captivated me? What was it that had seemed to me to be radical? I have thought about and analysed this a lot, and I'll share with you some of the things I have come up with. The students were all involved in creating mathematics. They also seemed to be comfortable with trying new things without being sure of where they were heading exactly. They were curious about the patterns they saw and were motivated to explore them. The students had agency. They had ideas, questions, and conjectures that were valued and that they were encouraged to explore. They really looked like a bunch of mini mathematicians. They were being curious, making conjectures, and working towards proof. In the process, they were also becoming learners of math, honing skills and learning new terms and techniques. I knew this was the kind of classroom I wanted, but also soon realized there was no simple formula I could follow. I spent a lot of my teaching career unpicking this lesson, learning the depth of thought and nuance of what had gone into the teaching and reading research that gave me a deeper understanding. This course is a distillation of what I have learned. That math lesson and this course are both embedded in a very human quality of being curious. What is curiosity? How is it related to making conjectures in math? And what role does curiosity and conjecturing play in learning and in well-being? These are questions we will explore in our first lesson of this course, the next video for you to watch. I'm Anushka Fitzherbert, a passionate math teacher, mother of 3 children, and a curious person. Let's keep learning and being curious together.